In the early 2000s, this tiny device changed music forever. The iPod wasn't just a gadget, it was a cultural icon. So why did Apple decide to kill it right when it was still wildly popular? Let's find out. When the first iPod launched in 2001, it was revolutionary, 1,000 songs in your pocket. That might sound small today, but back then, it was mind-blowing. Before the iPod, MP3 players were bulky, confusing, and held barely enough music for a short road trip. Apple's sleek design, famous click wheel, and seamless integration with iTunes made the iPod a joy to use. The commercials, those dancing silhouettes with white earbuds, turned it into a fashion statement. By 2004, the iPod wasn't just a music player, it was the music player. Sales exploded. By 2008, Apple sold over 54 million iPods in a single year. The iPod was everywhere, in classrooms, gyms, subway stations, and it was printing money for Apple. But in January 2007, Apple unveiled something that quietly threatened the iPod's future: the iPhone. Steve Jobs famously described it as an iPod, a phone, and an internet communicator all in one. At first, people didn't think it would replace the iPod. The iPhone was expensive and its storage was smaller than some iPod models. But the potential was obvious. If your phone could play music, why carry a separate device? The writing was on the wall, even if most people didn't see it yet. Here's where Apple made a decision most companies wouldn't dare to. The iPod was their best-selling product, and yet they let the iPhone cannibalize it. They didn't fight the change, they let it. This is a classic example of what business experts call creative destruction. Instead of protecting the iPod and slowing down the iPhone's rise, Apple understood that the future of portable music wasn't a separate player. It was a multi-purpose device. The iPod had done its job. It brought millions of people into the Apple ecosystem and built trust in their hardware and software. But the iPhone could generate far more revenue, not just from the device itself, but from apps, accessories, and services. Apple was willing to kill its own golden goose for something bigger. Over the next decade, the iPod quietly faded into the background. Models like the Shuffle and Nano were discontinued in 2017. The iPod Touch, basically an iPhone without the phone, stuck around a little longer, appealing to kids, developers, and niche users. But by the late 2010s, most people got their music from smartphones and streaming services like Spotify and Apple Music. The age of the dedicated MP3 player was over. In May 2022, Apple officially announced the end of the iPod. More than 20 years after it debuted,